Attention passionate Dallas, Cowboys fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Dallas Cowboys' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Dallas, Cowboys fans. Let's get to the news now. Let's talk about a potential game changer that's been brewing behind the scenes in the NFC West. Something that could shake up the entire division and send shockwaves through the NFC playoff picture. Imagine a scenario where the Dallas Cowboys, always on the lookout to strengthen their roster, make a bold move for one of the league's top defensive playmakers. That's right, we're talking about a hypothetical trade that could see Fred Warner, the linebacker extraordinaire from the San Francisco 49ers, donning the star. Now, I know what you're thinking. Sounds wild, right? But stay with me, because there's a lot to unpack here about how Warner's potential arrival could redefine the Cowboys' defense and their quest for another Super Bowl title. First, let's set the scene. The 49ers, sitting at 7-5, have been contemplating some strategic roster moves, especially as they focus on extending Brock Purdy's contract after a couple of injury setbacks and some shaky performances from other key players. Now, Warner, who's been a cornerstone of that defense, is rumored to be on the trading block. According to some leaks from Adam Schefter, San Francisco is considering moving Warner after the deadline in November 2025, possibly after the 2026 draft. The reason? They're eyeing some cap space flexibility, especially with the focus on extending Purdy and Warner's recent injury history. He's been out for a game with an ankle sprain, plus his impressive stats are making him a prime trade candidate. Warner is no ordinary linebacker. At just 28 years old, he's already established himself as one of the league's most cerebral and versatile defenders. His PFF grade of 93, one in 2025, is nothing short of elite. Over 11 games, he's racked up 102 tackles, snagged 3 interceptions, forced 5 fumbles, and contributes with a positive EPA per stop of plus 0.45. When you look at his game film, it's clear he's not just a thumper, he's a true playmaker. His success rate against tight ends is a staggering 78%, and he's averaging 3 tackles per game. That level of consistency makes him a perfect fit for the Cowboys' linebacker core, especially considering his proven ability to cover tight ends and operate effectively in nickel packages. His career stats are impressive, over 950 tackles and 12 interceptions, with 4 All-Pro selections. What really sets Warner apart, though, is his football IQ. He's a master at pre-snap reads, boasting an 85% success rate, and he's a dynamic blitzer with a 72% blitz drop rate. His ability to shoot gaps and make plays in space is reminiscent of some of the best in recent history. Think Luke Kuechly, but with even more versatility. Warner's game film shows a linebacker who can do it all: stop the run, cover, blitz, and lead the defense with authority. Now, why would the Cowboys be interested in such a player? Well, the Cowboys' linebacker spot has been a bit of a mixed bag this season, especially with the injuries and inconsistency from other players filling those roles. Add to that the need to elevate their third down stops, projected to improve by around 15% with Warner's addition, and you see why this hypothetical trade makes sense. Warner would be the defensive conductor, orchestrating the defensive calls, boosting third down efficiency, and allowing the Cowboys to keep their opponents scoring in check, right around 20 points per game. That's a huge step toward making their defense more formidable, especially in the playoffs. But Warner's impact wouldn't stop there. His coverage skills, especially against tight ends and running backs, would complement Micah Parsons perfectly, giving the Cowboys a nightmare matchup for offenses. Warner's ability to reduce checkdowns, cutting completion percentages from 67% down to 52%, would be a game changer in neutralizing some of the league's most dangerous playmakers. His presence would also elevate the run defense, helping to bring down the average yards per carry from 4.0 to around 3.4, which is crucial when facing high-powered offenses like the Eagles or the 49ers themselves. From a strategic standpoint, Warner's versatility is a huge asset. He's played over 68 snaps in the nickel, dominating in that role, and his EPA per target of -0.25 in zone coverage is a testament to his proficiency. His return from injury in Week 12 could be the catalyst for the Cowboys' defense to reach new heights. Plus, his leadership qualities and football IQ are exactly what Dan Quinn's defense needs to take that next step, playing smarter, faster, and more aggressive. Let's not forget the larger context. The 49ers are trying to cut costs, especially with a 7-5 record and a roster that's been banged up. They're culling players and reshaping their team for the stretch run. Meanwhile, the Cowboys, sitting at 6-5-1, are in a prime position to make a serious playoff push. Adding Warner would be like pouring rocket fuel on their defense, especially as they look to improve their third down efficiency and overall defensive ranking. It's about making a statement, showing the league that Dallas is here to contend, and they're willing to make bold moves to get there. The impact on the NFC playoff picture could be massive. Warner's ability to control the middle of the field, limit explosive plays, and provide leadership could make the Cowboys a nightmare for any offense they face. His presence would help neutralize high-powered teams like the 49ers and Eagles, giving Dallas a significant advantage in key matchups. As the postseason approaches, having a player like Warner, who can step in and immediately elevate the defense, is invaluable. His experience, combined with his on-field intelligence and playmaking ability, makes him a potential difference-maker in late-game situations. This hypothetical trade also echoes the kind of bold moves that have historically defined championship teams. Cowboys have always been about strategic acquisitions, whether through draft picks or trades, to maximize their chances of winning the Super Bowl. Warner fits the mold of a player who can come in, immediately adapt, and elevate the entire team. It's about creating a defense that's not just good but dominant, one that can impose its will on opponents and close out games with confidence. Of course, all of this is speculative, but it's fascinating to think about what Warner's addition could mean for Dallas. It's about bolstering a defense that's already pretty solid, but could use that extra edge in the middle. With Parsons generating pressure on the quarterback and Warner covering tight ends and running backs with ease, the Cowboys would have a truly formidable front seven. That's the kind of unit that can carry a team deep into the playoffs and push for that elusive Super Bowl title. So, Cowboys fans, imagine the possibilities. A linebacker who can match up against the best in the league, who can call the shots on defense, and who can bring a championship mentality to AT&T Stadium. Warner's arrival could be the missing piece that pushes Dallas over the top. It's a bold vision, but one that could become a reality if the stars align and the right deal is struck. The NFC East is already competitive, but a move like this would send shockwaves through the division, signaling to everyone that the Cowboys are all in on their Super Bowl dreams. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Dallas Cowboys news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead, if such a trade were to happen, it would send ripples across the NFL. The Cowboys, already a team with a strong offense led by Dak Prescott and a rejuvenated offense line, would gain a defensive anchor that could unlock their full potential. Warner's leadership and playmaking could be the catalyst for a resurgence, pushing Dallas into the elite tier of NFL teams vying for that coveted Lombardi trophy. Fans are already dreaming of a defensive unit that can match the offensive firepower, and Warner could be the key piece to make that a reality. Furthermore, it would set a precedent for how the Cowboys approach the postseason, adding star players mid-season when the stakes are highest. It's about building a championship team from the inside out, and Warner's addition would be a symbol of that commitment. The NFC is stacked, but with Warner's ability to neutralize the opposition's best players and make game-changing plays, Dallas could have a distinct advantage in the playoffs. And of course, we can't forget about the emotional aspect. Warner's leadership qualities, his relentless work ethic, and his desire to win at the highest level would resonate throughout the locker room. His presence would energize the team and inspire the young players like Micah Parsons to elevate their game even further. It's about creating a culture of excellence, and Warner embodies everything the Cowboys want to be: resilient, intelligent, and relentless. In conclusion, while this entire scenario is hypothetical, it's fun to imagine the possibilities. The Dallas Cowboys are always looking for ways to improve, and an impact player like Fred Warner would be a game changer. It's about making bold moves, seizing opportunities, and positioning themselves for a deep playoff run that could culminate in another Super Bowl appearance. The NFC landscape is shifting, and if the Cowboys want to stay ahead of the curve, they'll need to be willing to make moves that define their legacy. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Dallas Cowboys. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Dallas Cowboys news. We're in this together and the best is yet to come.